Milescraft Track Saw Guide. We need to replace the edge. I'm going to show you how to do it right after this. I hope. I'm Rick, and this shut the heck up, you stinking roosters. Now for your sanity. This is the shack. Hello and welcome back to the shack. Yes, in this video I'm going to attempt, because I'm not sure exactly how to do it, I'm going to attempt to replace the edge with new edge on the Milescraft Track Saw Guide. I'll have a link to the original video up here. The reason I chose this and why I like it so much, I hate to say how many, but I have enough circular saws. The last thing I needed to do was buy a track saw guide that had yet another circular saw. Regardless if it was dedicated to it, I would rather had some option out there that I could dedicate one of my saws to this, and that's why the Milescraft fit that need perfectly. I have two cordless circular saws from DeWalt. One I don't really use, the other one is my favorite, so I decided to use the one I don't use too much, which is my DCS 574 circular saw. I decided to use this as a dedicated track saw to this track saw guide. Unfortunately, I wasn't really thinking, and it came with this. It's just a very aggressive blade to cut through construction lumber, basically, not for finish carpentry, for good finish work, for a nice smooth edge. And when I switched it out to one of the blades that I had, basically this blade came from my stepfather's construction company. We used to buy good blades for our circular saws, and we have them resharpened. They have carbide tips. I think this is a 60 tooth. Pretty sure I have to go back and look at it. But the fact is, once I put this blade on, unfortunately, I realigned everything on this, on the base itself. It no longer was with the edge of my track saw. It wasn't a zero clearance. And I'm going to put this on here and I'll show you. So because of that, I reached out to Milescraft and I ordered, I think they're only $20, a pair of new edges. Now, one thing I didn't do in that original video, and I knew I should have done it, but I just didn't. You should put this on a piece of wood to cut that edge off so it helps, because it's a little rough on the edges here. It is just a little rough, but I think that also has to do with such an aggressive blade. But you should put this on a piece of wood just deep enough so your blade maybe ½ inch past this, just enough to cut into the wood and cut the edge, and that way you'll have a very smooth, very precise zero clearance edge. Once I redo this, we're copacetic. We're good to go, or whatever you want to say. Don't know if it's going to pick it up or not, but I can get my fingernail right through there so it's just off. And if I move this, it's not even scraping. Doesn't even come close. So that's not a true zero. Again, it's very rough anyway, so I think I'm just going to replace the edge, recut. I get it to be a zero clearance to match this blade now, which I don't understand why it's not touching, because you're referencing off the back of this when you set it up anyway. So yeah, it just makes no sense. What I'm going to do, I thought I was going to peel it off, but it's pretty well stuck on there. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to try it. I got my heat gun. I'm going to heat this up and see if that will peel off any better. If not, then I don't know. I could peel it off, but the adhesive strip may be left on there. I have to kind of scrape it off, then I have to wipe it down. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to try the heat gun first, see what happens. I'm hoping if I get the aluminum warm, it will peel off much easier. Well, it's hot. It ain't coming off. That bites. Just see. I'm gonna have to hold it here. It's all warm. Well, it's coming off, but it ain't coming off the way I want it to come off. Well, that bites. Come on. It ain't gonna come off that easy. Oh, you jerk. It's not coming off at all from here. It's warm too, man. Come on, come off with it. Come off with it. Come on. Come on. Ah, you see, it ain't gonna work. It'll come off as I roll it because there's nothing sticking here, so it's coming off pretty good. I have to heat it up, but it's not coming off with the strip. And that kind of bites. I was hoping this, oh well. So much for that. So I guess I'm just gonna have to heat this up and roll it up. Let me get this cleaned off of this side, then I'll see about the other side. Maybe it'll come off better, but this one isn't coming off the way I wanted it to. So I'm gonna have to heat it up and roll it up. At least it's rolling up pretty good. It is warm. It just won't peel off. I gotta roll it. All right, I'll do this off camera. We're gonna try this again on the other end now, the other piece. Whoops, take this off. And see if it's gonna come off or it's just the way it's gonna be. We have to just peel it off and then roll that stuff off like a booger or something, man. I mean, serious. I think it's just going to come off like the other side. There's no way to get that to come off with the plastic here. This is hot, so I want to see. Nope. There's just no way for that to come off with it. Oh well. I guess it is what it is, man. Just roll it off like a booger. I have it all removed, but you see I got some spots here and there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try a little lacquer thinner. I'm going to wipe the whole thing down so it's nice and clean. I would suggest getting yourself a plastic scraper and maybe get a little tray or something and put some mineral spirits or whatever you use in it. That way you kind of dip the edge in. I got my rag wet, jammed into the edge here, went up and down, and there was a few spots I could feel something rough, so I'd rub it clean. And I'd flip it up so I could rub the blade against this edge, make sure it's nice and clean. Now if I put this in here, it is smooth up and down. So there's no leftover residue, all the gummy stuff out of the corner here is completely gone. This is smooth as glass now, completely wiped down, but I'm gonna do it one more time, wipe the whole thing down now that I got all the corner stuff out, and then we can move on to applying the new edges. So I'm just gonna fold this up. There, I got some stuff on there. And I'm just going to give this another quick wipe down. There, now just let the air dry for a couple minutes and we can proceed. Now before I put this other one on, just in case there's dust on here, again I got my drag that I had the mineral spirits on. I'm just going to wipe this all nice and clean so I know there's no dust on here because I don't want any particles or anything to get on it. So I'm wiping the top and bottom so it's nice and clean. There we go. So this will set on here like that. So I guess I'm just going to flush it to this edge. Actually, yeah, it'll go right edge to edge. So you just kind of flush it. There, if you look at that one, it's not flush with the edge. It's in a little bit. I'd rather have this a little gap here on the side where it meets so it's not obstructing anything because I think this one may be a little too close. So I'm going to flush it with this edge and I'll just adhere this new one to it. Hopefully I don't mess it up. I'm going to leave this up here like that. Again, I want to put it in here like this. I'm going to just flush it to here. Perfect right there. So I'm going to keep pushing against the edge here as I peel this out and come behind and push it down so it stays right here. There we go. Look at that, nice new edge. Woo! Ready to destroy that one. So let me flip this. Again, where'd my rag go? I want to wipe this piece off, get any dust off the top and bottom, especially the bottom. See, I'll have a pretty good gap here. I'm going to flush it to this end, and that'll give me a perfect little gap there. So that'll work out right. Again, I'm going to make one more pass. Wipe this off just in case everything looks good. Wipe this off again just in case everything looks good. And it will go this way, so I'm going to start at this end. All right, I know it's there somewhere. There it goes. Peel it off this side. Tilt it in here. That looks good right there. There we go. Again, keeping it pushed against the edge as I peel this off. Push that down. There we go. Perfect. Ooh, nice. So there we have a brand new fresh edge to cut. And let's see if you can see that there. There's a little bit of a gap there, which is fine. It's perfect. So I'm running this edge off, and that way it's not going to keep this from buttoning up really smooth. If you look on this side, a little tight. I had to trim that a little bit so I could butt up smooth. This way I don't have to worry about it. All right, now we gotta recut that. I have this outside sitting on my truck tailgate. I put the fresh edge on the edge of my plywood, 3/4 inch plywood. That way I can have some underneath this to get a nice fresh cut. I'm gonna just run it down till I get about here. I'm gonna stop, slide this down, and continue to cut so I have something underneath this to give it a nice edge. Make sure everything working good on here. Yep. I'm going to start it, and I'm just going to lower it down. I want to start cutting this. This blade is so quiet. Oh my goodness, you can't even hear it cutting hardly. But yeah, you will get all that fuzzy stuff. Clean it all off. That is a smooth edge, man. Oh my goodness. That is amazing. So let me slide this back now so I can finish the cut. This is a beautiful blade. Nothing like that just ripped the heck out of it blade that was on there. This is such a good, smooth finishing blade. It's unbelievable. I'll bring that about there. Nice, baby, nice. All right, get that back in there. That is absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna slide this back just a little, make sure it's square so I can get a nice fresh edge on this. And that's gonna be it. All right, I got that squared up, looks pretty good. So let's see how we do. Yep. Wow. That blade is absolutely amazing. So now I have, wow. It is right on. Wow. Jeez. You can't feel anything, dude. That is an absolute zero clearance. Look at that. Perfect. You can do thin strips with this, man. Look at that. Complete, perfect thin strip. Unbelievable. Smooth. This is smooth. And this, look at that. Absolutely nothing on the bottom. Absolutely nothing on top. Now we are back in business. And I'm telling you right now, your blade makes all the difference. That's a true zero clearance cut track saw guide. If you have an extra saw laying around, save yourself a couple $100. Don't buy a Craig, don't buy a DeWalt or Milwaukee or any name brand track saw when you can buy yourself a Milescraft track saw guide and put one of your saws on it and get fantastic results. I cannot stress enough though, make sure you get a quality blade on your saw. The blade does make the difference. I'll have a link in the description below to where I get my blades from. Ridge Carbide Tool Company in Kansas. This just happened to be an extra blade I had from my uncle's construction company that fit on this, and you see I have fantastic results. Far cry from the stock rip it to pieces blade here. Quality saw blade, you get a butter smooth cut. And my track saw edge is absolutely smooth, no rough cut because of the other blade. And now I have, once again, a true zero clearance cut saw guide. That's how you change it out. Check here or in the description below. I have a link to my original review on this Milescraft Track Saw guide. Highly recommended. But we are done. Thanks again for watching. Be blessed. Take back check for your sanity. I cannot stress enough, quality saw blade on your saws will seriously upgrade your saw to the next level. Thanks again for watching. We will see you next video.